Ever noticed how some days everything feels manageable? You're calm, you're cool, you're collected, you're well grounded because everything just is happening. Then other days, you're completely out of control. Everything seems to be happening to you. You're on edge for no clear reason. That's not just your mood or your thoughts. That's your nervous system speaking to you. I want you to think about your reactive days. What triggered you? What did your body feel like? Because today, we're going to explore the autonomic nervous system and how ancient modes of survival are actually keeping us more on edge today. Welcome to the Happiness Hack with Tim Coulson. If you've been following along, then you know this is a podcast where we take a little bit of positive psychology, a little bit of strength-based healing, and mix it all together to come up with a whole bunch of real-world applications that we can use to take small, powerful steps towards incorporating more resilience, more growth, and more happiness into our everyday lives. In this episode, we're going to explore the autonomic nervous system, how it shapes our emotional world, and how learning to regulate it will help us to move from survival and in a state of surviving into a state of thriving. We're going to learn practical ways to calm our body, help strengthen our mindset, and create a sense of inner safety that allows happiness, resilience, and purpose to grow. So, what is the autonomic nervous system? The ANS for short. Well, it's a part of the brain that runs our heart rate, breathing, digestion, and stress responses. It consists of two main branches, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. When the parasympathetic nervous system is working well, it controls our rest, the digestion, the repair mode of our body. Now, when the sympathetic nervous system takes over, it controls our fight or flight response, our freeze and fawn mode. Normally, these two systems work in harmony, a little bit like breathing in, breathing out. They work together to help our body respond to the situations it needs to. But for many of us, the sympathetic nervous system has started to take control. That rhythm, that balance that we all need, it's off. When was the last time that you felt truly safe, truly rested, relaxed, at peace? Think about it. When was the last time truly that your body didn't feel slightly on edge? Because when we're feeling on edge, that's actually our body's way of keeping us safe, keeping us away from danger. Hundreds of years ago, when we saw something moving in the grass, it was probably a threat. When we saw something coming at us at a great speed, then it was definitely a threat. But nowadays, those things moving at us at great speed, it's just a car or someone else walking the dog. We don't live in the same environment that our ancestors did, but our body hasn't yet evolved. We're still relying on those ancient mechanisms. When we saw a stress 200 years ago, then we had to react. But nowadays, the things that stress us out, well, it's an inbox full of emails, or a work deadline, or the kids, or not knowing what to cook for dinner. The things that stress us nowadays aren't the same. But our body can't tell the difference. It's still reacting like there was a lion in that grass. So most of us nowadays are actually living in a low-level fight or flight response, and we don't even realize it. But with that comes living with a constant state of stress. Think about your own life. What are the things and the situations that make your mind start to race, that make you start to worry. Because there's a big difference between physical safety and psychological safety. We can be physically safe sitting on the couch at home, but psychologically, we're stressing ourselves out. We're thinking about what's got to happen at work, or what's going to happen next week, or how we're going to get dinner ready. Psychologically, we're feeling unsafe, and our nervous system picks up on that. It reacts to that sense of safety rather than focusing on the physical sense of safety and helping us relax and regulate and repair. So, when we're living with this state of stress all the time, emotionally, we get more activated. We might become more anxious about things. We might be more irritable, or we might just hit the sense of overwhelmed and I just can't do it. Physically, our bodies are going to react. We're going to feel tighter in the muscles. We're going to feel fatigued more often. Ironically, we're not going to be able to rest as well. And socially, well, we're likely to withdraw. The thought of having to deal with people, too much. Because the nervous system can't do two things at once. It can't protect you and simultaneously grow. So when we're psychologically stressed and feeling psychologically unsafe, our nervous system enters protection mode. Growth feels a distant memory or something that we're never going to be able to achieve. You're no longer thriving. You're now just surviving. When we enter survival mode, joy feels further and further away. Maybe it's not even something we can even feel. And that's where we get really disconnected. When our brains start to forget what true safety and physical sense feels like, we tend to focus on those other things. Our brains are brilliant problem solvers. But if we don't give them a problem to solve, then they're going to go and find one. So think about it. What in your life is draining you? Why? How can you find a solution to remind yourself that physically you're safe? This is just a psychological stress. I know that sounds simplistic, but when you can identify that and remind your body that you are physically safe, then your nervous system is going to respond accordingly. And if your nervous system is more regulated, then you're not going to be with that constant threat of fight or flight. It's the safety that is going to help you. That's the science of self-regulation. When we think that we're safe, but when we truly feel it. With neuroplasticity, every time we remind our bodies and our brains, hey, this is what it feels like to be physically safe, then the sense of psychological unsafety lessens. In other words, every time we remind our bodies to regulate, to slow down, to go, hey, I'm in an environment where there's no physical threat, then the sense of psychological threat lessens. Every time we remind ourselves that we are physically safe, then our sense of psychological safety grows. So really think about this, guys. What makes your body feel safe? Is it a space? Is it a person? Is it a sound? And then when you can identify it, incorporate it. If you feel really relaxed when you're at the beach, maybe you can't get there every week, but you can listen to the waves crashing on Spotify. If you feel really safe when you're outdoors, why are you sitting inside so often? Get the deck chair, go and sit outside. Remind yourself that you're physically safe, because I promise you, the more that you do that, the more that your sense of psychological safety will grow. So here's a couple of practical tips that are really going to help you enhance that. The first one, regulate your breathing. Consciously count your intake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now consciously count your exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because when we deliberately inhale for less time than we exhale, the body starts to relax. Our heart rate starts to lower. The tension in our muscles decreases. So next time you're feeling a little bit stressed, consciously slow your exhale. The next tip, move, guys. Get up, walk around, do a lap around the desk, go outside. Heck, even if you just get up and shake your hands and do a little dance. Because when your body is stressed, it needs to be in motion. That's what emotion is. Energy in motion. So next time you're feeling really emotional, give that energy a path to move. Shake it out. Move it. Find the rhythm and the flow that helps you to feel like this emotion is on its way out. The final tip is to connect with people, because humans are designed to co-regulate. When we're around other people that are feeling cool, calm, and collected, we can't help it. We start to feel cool, calm, and collected. So find the people that help you to feel more relaxed, more at peace, more at ease, and then make sure that you connect with them. These 3 tips are going to help you regulate. But when you regulate, you don't eliminate the stress. You simply change your relationship with it. And the more that you teach your body and your brain how you want it to react to the stress, then the more likely it's going to be to do that. The more that you remind yourself to be calm, to settle, the more that your capacity to do it increases. And with time, your creativity, your empathy, and your sense of purpose all grow. Because the more that you remind yourself that you are physically safe, the more that you feel psychologically safe. And that's when we start to really thrive. Each time you consciously choose to respond rather than react, you're teaching your brain that being at peace is safe. What would your life look like if all of those little stresses weren't teaching you to constantly be in fight or flight? If we moved from survival state into thriving state? Here's your happiness hack for the week. It's a simple 60-second reset. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the middle of the day. It's the same time, the same practice. It doesn't matter when. Step number 1, notice what you're feeling. Question it. What am I feeling right now? Then put a name on it, because if we can label it, we start to take ourselves away from it. It's the concept of cognitive dissonance. So I am feeling tense. I am feeling disconnected. No longer is that what we are. I am feeling rather than I am. Breathe. Slow down that exhale. Breathe in for 4, breathe out for 6. Do that 3 times. Now get up and move. Shift your body. Do a little dance. Move around the desk. When you come back, I want you to reframe that first thought that you were having. Is this real? Is this a true threat? Or am I just feeling a sense of discomfort? Because what we want to notice is the discomfort. Growth happens when we're uncomfortable. It's not supposed to be easy. A little bit of discomfort is not a bad thing. Each time you run through this 60-second reset, You're changing your relationship with that feeling. You're reminding your brain that your body is safe. This is what thriving feels like. So, what's one small action you can take this week to help reset your nervous system? Maybe it is going outside. Maybe it's reconnecting with an old friend. Maybe it's doing the 60-second reset every single day. Because remember, happiness isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about building a body and a mind that feels safe enough to actually experience it. You're not broken. You're human, and your body knows its way home. If this resonated with you, I would love for you to subscribe to the Happiness Hack with Tim Coulson. Or better yet, share this episode with someone who could do with hearing this message. And if you're ready to make real positive change, then why not jump online and book a session with me? It's tim-coulson.com, tim-coulson.com. And as always, guys, remember, the day is what you make it.